Hi, my name is Christina McGrath from Swell Fit Living, and today I have a nice core practice for you. Core is a lot of times neglected in our sport and also our stretching regime. So I've added a core practice to this because I feel like it will strengthen and stretch the lower back in addition to giving you a lot of stability in the core. So we do a little bit of the leg lifts, we do some plank, and we also do some dolphin push-ups to help and open the shoulders and obviously target the core muscles to keep you stable and grounded and balanced and also steady in your stride, in your run, in your biking, and in your fitness. I hope you enjoy. Hi, so what we're going to do today is we're going to start out with a little bit of a core practice. Core is extremely strong for any kind of sport that you're going to be doing, especially running. You want a really nice strong core so it can support your lower back and also allow your hips and your hip flexors to move with ease. Also, having a nice strong core can also help the knees. It can also help flat feet, which is amazing. So we're going to be doing some core exercises. Like I said, a nice good 20-minute practice. Do this once a week and you'll definitely have a nice strong lower back because of it. And I'll be also giving you ideas of challenges along the way. So feel free to take the first option or feel free to take the challenges as you go and as you progress. So bring the feet about hip width apart, bring those hands up, palms facing up, shoulder blades back and down, and then just reach back. So engaging the core, pulling the belly in, and then just coming up, nice long spine. So working with the spine here, not having it round at all, come back and then up. So nice long spine again, coming back, engaging the core, pulling the lower belly in, and then up. So we're just kind of testing the waters here, and then back. And then up, and last one, back. Nice long spine, and then up. Good, and then bringing the hands to the knees, rolling the shoulder blades back and down, and just getting a little bit of articulation of the spine. So rounding the spine, looking towards the belly, and then inhaling, looking up, opening up the heart and the chest. Exhale, rounding. So even though we're going to be starting out with some core exercises, it's really good to loosen up the lower back. And up. Exhale, rounding. Inhaling up. And two more. Exhale, rounding. Inhaling up. And last one. Exhale, rounding. And inhaling up. And then coming back to that center. Let's bring those legs out. Bring those arms straight out. You can have a slight bend in the knees if you'd like, but keep the heels on the ground. So this is your challenge here. Straighten out those legs, shoulder blades back and down, round the spine. So almost like you're being hit in the belly and coming all the way down, bringing those fingertips up to the sky, and then coming all the way up to a nice seated position, keeping the heels on the ground, nice long spine. Bringing those hands forward, rounding the spine, pulling in the lower belly, coming all the way down, bringing those fingertips up, coming all the way up. Nice long spine, working on the posture, hands forward, round the spine, coming all the way down, bringing those fingertips up, all the way up, bringing those hands forward, rounding the spine, coming all the way down, fingertips up, all the way up, and last one, bringing those hands forward, rounding the spine, coming all the way down, fingertips up, all the way up. Nice long spine. And then bringing those hands forward. Actually, let's bend the knees. We're going to come back into the core exercise, but we're going to get a little bit into the obliques to start with. So bringing those hands forward, and you're going to tilt back, coming into your boat. So first option, bringing those hands behind the knees, and feel free to stay here for the entire thing if you'd like, or bending those knees so the calves are parallel with the ground, bringing those arms out, and then bringing those hands over to that right-hand side, and to the left. And to the right, and to the left. A couple more to the right, left. And you can even do it faster if you'd like. Right, left, and right. Last one, and left. And then grabbing a hold of underneath those knees, bringing the knees into the chest and seeing if you can keep those toes off the ground. Nice long spine, and then coming into your boat. So rolling those shoulder blades back and down. Again, Feel free to stay right here or even right here to start with and working your way into it. Bringing those hands out and then coming into your boat. So straightening out those legs, having those hands, palms facing up, taking 2 breaths. And then coming into a low boat, coming all the way down. You can bring those hands in a little bit closer, 2 breaths. And then coming back into your high boat, 2 breaths. And then low boat, 2 breaths. And then let's come all the way onto the back. Bringing the knees into the chest and then rolling a little bit from side to side. You can just release that lower back just a little bit. And then we're going to bring those legs all the way up. I'm going to scoot forward, so just making sure you're on your towel or your mat. Bringing those toes all the way up to the sky. We're going to come into water wheel. So an easier version is to bring those hands underneath the hips. So the hands are kind of right underneath the glutes. Or a harder version is to have those hands out to the side. Even harder version or more challenging version is to have those hands all the way up. So I'll show the version number 2. Bringing those knees into the chest and then bringing those toes out to a hover. Lower back is still on the ground. Toes up to the sky, 90 degrees. Knees into the chest. Toes out to a hover. Toes up to the sky. Knees into the chest. Toes out to a hover. Lower back doesn't come off the ground. Toes up to the sky. 2 more. Knees to the chest. Toes to a hover. Toes to the sky. More advanced. Knees to the chest. Toes to a hover. Toes to the sky. Now we're going to do it the other way. So you're going to come, bring the legs to a hover, bring the knees to the chest, and toes to the sky. Again, you can have the torso on the ground, knees to a hover, or toes to a hover, knees to the chest, toes to the sky. To a hover, knees to the chest, toes to the sky. The last one, to a hover, knees to the chest, toes to the sky. And then again, bringing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a little bit of love here. Breathing in and out through the nose. And then coming all the way up to seated. And we're just going to give a nice little stretch out here. So line up the ankles. So one in front of the other, bringing those hands just to the hip or to the knees, and then just roll the spine out. So nice big rolls. Again, you should feel the heat building in the core. 3 rolls one direction, and then the other direction. Nice big rolls. And then come right up to that center. And then you're going to bring those feet to the ground, bring those hands forward, and then you're going to roll all the way back down to the ground. So we're going to continue with some things on the back. So bringing those toes up into the sky, and we're just going to do single leg lifts. So bringing that lower belly in, you can have those hands out to the sides or underneath the hips, or more challenging, bringing those hands over to the sides. So I'll do the medium version, bringing those hands down, bringing that right leg down just to a hover so the lower back doesn't come up, and then left leg down and up. Again, more challenging, torso up, down, left leg down and up. 3 more. Right leg down and up, left down, up, right down, up, left down, up, and right down, up, and left down, and up. Keep those legs up and bring those hands down. Now we're going to go right into double leg lifts. If that's not for you today, you can continue with single leg lifts. Otherwise, bringing those legs down to a hover, lower back still on the ground, and up to 90 degrees. Legs down and up. 3 more. Legs down and up. Breathing, exhaling down and up. And down and up. Last one, down and up. And then bringing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a little bit of love here. And then coming all the way up again, bringing those feet to the ground, and then bringing that torso really close to those quads, and just giving your hip flexors just a little bit of love here. And then let's do just a quick stretch. So bringing both of those knees over to the right-hand side. And you're gonna bring that left leg back so the heel's close towards the quad. It's close towards the quad, and then you're gonna turn over to that right-hand side. Give yourself a nice little twist. Wringing everything out. And then bringing those knees over to that left-hand side. You can bring this leg in a little bit closer, giving yourself a little quadricep stretch, and then twisting over to that left-hand side. You can look over that shoulder. Another nice deep breath here. And then coming back up. So bringing those feet to the ground, let's bring those hands back up, and then we're gonna round the spine, coming all the way back down into the ground, and then just bring the knees into the chest. And then what we're gonna do here is you're gonna rock up, cross your legs, bring your hands forward, and then come back into plank. So a nice little transition there, nice strong plank. So you want the heels going back, you want the hands almost as wide as the mat or a little bit wider than your shoulders, and then pulling that lower belly in, and then bringing that torso down and that crown of the head forward. So sometimes you can get down, so you don't want any kind of dip in the back, and you also don't want too much of a bend in the back, so it's right in the center. And then just taking a few breaths here, establishing that nice strong foundation. 2 more breaths. And then pushing yourself back into downward dog with nice bent knees. So we really haven't stretched out the hamstrings or anything. We're just working on the core. So bend the knees and just allow your belly to relax and your abs to relax while you can get a little bit of a stretch in the shoulders. And then we're going to come forward into plank again, engaging the core. So feel free during plank, if you'd like, you can always come down onto the knees. Again, you still want that nice flat back, pulling in the lower belly, the crown of the head forward. You can have the toes curled under or not, or coming into your plank. So we're gonna do alternating shoulder taps. So you're gonna bring that right hand to that left shoulder, not moving anything else, and switch, and switch. So you wanna keep minimal movement in the lower body as you switch. Switch, 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 switch. 3 more, switch, 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 switch. And then coming back into your plank, nice strong core, and then coming all the way back into your downward dog. Remembering to breathe here, taking a few breaths. And then come forward into your high plank, nice strong back. Again, you can come onto those knees if you'd like. Taking a few more breaths here. And then we're gonna come into side plank. So you're gonna keep that left hand on the ground. You're gonna come onto both sides of the feet. That's the easier way, or even more easy is bringing that left knee to the ground and then bringing that right hand to the sky. So this gets into the obliques. So first option, second option, and third option, looking up towards that hand. Fourth option, advanced option, you can bring that leg off. And balance. Taking another nice deep breath. And then bringing that hand back down, and then coming to the other side. So bringing that knee to the ground, and then bringing that left hand to the sky. Finding your balance. And then, if you'd like, stacking those feet, looking up towards that top hand, and then you can even stack those feet. Taking another nice deep breath here. And then come back into your high plank, engage that core, and then come all the way back into your downward dog. So we're gonna do that a few times. So bend those knees, nice, strong, straight, flat back. If your hamstrings are stretched out, please feel free to straighten out those legs and come forward into your high plank. Really reaching the crown of the head forward, having those collarbones broaden, and then back, pulling in that belly, coming all the way back into downward dog. Nice, strong, straight back. Coming forward, high plank. Crown of the head forward, collarbone forward, and then back, pulling in that lower belly. 2 more, coming forward. And back. And last one, coming forward. And back. Bringing those knees together and then coming back into child's pose. So bringing those hands forward, coming all the way back, bringing that forehead to the ground. Allowing your whole body to release and relax. And then we'll come into a little bit of a shoulder opener in addition to our core exercise. So you're going to come into dolphin. And we're going to do some nice dolphin push-ups. So a little bit more challenging is to have those hands so the forearms are parallel with each other. And then the other option is to have those hands together, or if it interlace those fingers. You want your elbows to be as wide as your forearms and your hands to either be forward or palms on the ground with your forearms parallel with each other. And you're going to curl those toes under and you're going to come back into a downward dog-like stance, which is called dolphin. Your feet are going to be hip-width apart. And you're going to push back with the shoulders. So good for the shoulders, bringing in that lower belly. And then what you're going to do is you're going to bring those feet a little bit further back. Kind of sneak them back there. And then we're going to come forward and do basically a forearm plank. You can bring the collarbone forward, bring the torso down, and then come back into your modified dolphin. And then forward. So the head or the chin basically comes over those thumbs and then back, pulling that lower belly. You can have those toes together or the feet hip width apart. The heels don't have to come to the ground. And forward and back. So getting into the shoulders and the core, forward and back. And last one, forward, lower belly in and back. And then coming down onto the knees, bringing those hands forward, and then allowing yourself just to come into child's pose if that's comfortable for you. Or you can have those knees apart, those toes together, and then sink down through the hips, breathing in and out through the nose. And then let's just pop up into table. So bring the heels of the hands in and the hands just underneath the shoulders, maybe a little bit wider, and the knees just underneath the hips. And then we're going to come into a core-like cat and cow. So you're going to exhaling, arching that back, curling the toes under, and then bringing those knees just an inch off the ground. Bringing the knees to the ground, tops of the feet come to the ground, tailbone up, crown of the head up. Exhale, arching, curling the toes under, bringing the knees off the ground, pulling in that belly and that core, bringing the shoulder blades away from each other. Knees to the ground, tops of the feet to come to the ground, tailbone up, crown of the head up. Exhale, rounding, curling the toes, coming into your core. Knees on the ground, tops of the feet, crown of the head up, tailbone up. Exhale, rounding, curling the toes, knees off the ground, coming into your core. Knees down, tops of the feet on the ground, coming all the way up. And then coming back up. And then we're going to come back into our table one more time. So, our plank. So bringing those hands forward. And if you want, you can bring those knees to the ground on this one if the core is getting a little bit more worked, or coming into your plank. And then one more time, just alternating shoulder taps to finish off the core. Bringing that right hand to that left shoulder. Switch, 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 switch. 2 more, switch, switch, switch. And then pushing all the way back into your downward dog. Nice big stretch here. And then coming to a seated position, so you can just hop or step or bring those legs forward, however you'd like. Nice long spine, bringing those feet so they're hip width apart. Hands forward. We're going to round all the way down into the ground. Again, pulling in that lower belly, coming all the way down. Nice strong belly. Bringing that lower belly to the ground. Bringing those hands out. And just to stretch it out, nice strong core. Just to stretch it out, we're going to come into just 2 rolling bridges. So you're going to bring the tailbone off the ground and then coming all the way up and then looking up towards the sky. So in bridge, you never want to look to the side. You always want to look straight up when you have your hips in the air. It's really good for the cervical vertebrae to have your chin straight up. So if you haven't done this one before, please view it and then bring those hips up. And then we're going to go all the way down. So starting with those shoulder blades going all the way down to the tailbone. And then one more time, bringing the tailbone up, coming all the way up. If you want on this one, you can interlace those fingers and bringing those shoulders together, making sure those feet are facing straight forward and those knees are right above those hips. Again, looking straight up, giving your thyroid a nice little massage here, good for the metabolism. So you're bringing that chin closer to the chest. You're engaging those quads, stretching at the belly. Another breath here. And then coming all the way down, bringing those legs all the way down, simply giving yourself just a few moments in Shavasana, bringing those legs out, allowing the whole body to release and relax. You can close those eyes, bringing those hands out to the side. And then this is really nice for the hip flexors because we did also use the hip flexors in addition to the core. So allow the hip flexors and the psoas to release and relax, allow the hips and the belly to relax, allow the chest to be soft. Again, the hands are just out to the side, palms facing up, and just taking about 5 nice deep breaths here, allowing everything just to settle. Allowing the breath to come into the belly, allowing the quads to settle. Usually just takes a few breaths just to kind of get into it, to ground. Allowing your body to balance and reset, probably the most important part of your whole practice. After that 5th breath, you can just bring those knees into the chest, give yourself a little bit of love on that sacrum, and then come up to seated. Nice long back, nice strong straight spine, so you should feel the sides of the body nice and strong, lower belly nice and engaged. Hips might be a little tight, but that's okay. Hands to heart center. Thank you so much. That was your core practice.